Good evening. Welcome to another live stream one-on-one interview session. We're back here now with one of our long-standing clients, Nate Paxton, former Georgia State college football player. Nate is the oldest of three. One other is playing with the Quad City Steamwheelers in the IFL. One is a all conference offensive lineman at Kennesaw State, soon to come up to the professional ranks. But Nate is the oldest, and an amazing story behind his journey, and hopefully we'll get a chance to let Nate tell that story. Nate, how you been doing?
And I've been blessed, man. Just thankful to be here, man. Been on the grind, working my tail off. Looking forward to getting some opportunities really soon.
Hey, the opportunities are getting ready to come. Don't think they're not. I want to get right into this. You've got obviously an amazing story, and one that I truly buy into and believe in. And I've worked really hard trying to keep you, on that track and pushing you up that ladder.
So,
Um, Tell everybody a little bit about your story, if you don't mind. Kind of take us back to Georgia State and how that all came to be. I know you've told me before about, I believe it was Alabama A&M, and some paperwork didn't work out and different things, and just kind of take us through that journey of how you ended up at Georgia State, and we'll kind of go from there.
yeah, for sure. For me personally, man, grew up struggling like a good amount of people have before. Grew up homeless. My family financial hardship was real for us. Grew up in a rough neighborhood. I buried over 200 people in my lifetime, including my father 2 years ago due to cancer. But with this, at that time, man, going to Georgia State, out of high school, I was one of the top players, started in the All-Star game in for the DeKalb County, the county I lived in. And from there, after that, I signed with Alabama A&M, went to an expo, gave them a couple clips of film. We didn't have Huddle back then, and he was impressed. And I was able to know on signing day sign to Alabama A&M. So me and my father ended up going down to Huntsville, and we was like, okay, we're here. So what's up? What's the next move? And when I got down there, the coaches knew me, but the admissions officer didn't know anything about me. So they was like, the best thing we could do is we can get you a walk-on tryout for the spring. And I was like, I really can't do a walk-on. I can't afford to pay for school right now due to what my family has going on. So my dad was like, we'll try to figure it out. And I was just like, Dad, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to play. I'm going to play Division I football, college football in general. He was like, I'm right there with you, son. So for 2 years, going in and out of homelessness, sleeping in hotels, et cetera, et cetera. Me and my family, we was just going through it. And I kept telling my dad I want to play. So we was filing applications to get into different schools here locally in Georgia, because tuition will be a little lower than me going out of state basically. And I tried to go to Georgia Southern. Some paperwork issue went wrong again there. I was trying to be a preferred walk-on. So I heard about Georgia State launching the program basically in 2010, the year I graduated. And I was like, Dad, you know what? I remember Georgia State saying they're about to have a program. I said, I'm open to do anything. I just want to get back on the field and I want to get a college degree. So he said, all right. So we applied. I got accepted. So for, I want to say almost 3 to 4 months, me and my dad, we didn't have a car at the time. Like I said, we were struggling. So we would catch the MARTA, which is our public transportation down here in Georgia. Caught it for almost 3 to 4 months every day. Some days we didn't have the money, so we would sneak on. But we would come downtown and we would try to meet Coach Curry and the coaching staff just to see if I can get an opportunity. I got accepted. I did what they told me I had to do, get accepted, then come try out for the team. So I was trying to meet Coach Curry to let him know how serious I was about the opportunity. Finally, one day, two of the Samoan brothers, they both played in the NFL, Jake and Louie. Those guys, they were like, yo, man, we've been seeing you every day. What you guys trying to do? You trying to play football? I was like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to meet Coach Curry. He said, oh, the office is this way. Everybody been sending us the wrong way to go find the office, not knowing it was literally like we passed it every day. It was in a whole different building. So they introduce us. They take us there. I meet Coach Pugh. I meet Coach Curry, and we sit down and we talk. And Coach Curry was just talking to me about life at first, and then he started asking me, so, young man, tell me about yourself. And I was telling him, like, I graduated high school with a 4.0 GPA. I told him about my situation. I had good grades. I was a really good player. I just needed opportunity. And from there, he was like, well, look here, young man, we have a open walk-on tryout coming up in February. He said, have you been accepted in the school? I said, yeah, I start classes in January. He said, well, look, come to the trial. You'll be a preferred walk-on, but you still got to make the team just like everybody else. Went to that tryout. It was like 200 plus people out there. Out of like the 20 plus D linemen that were there, they were way bigger than me. We all had different college experience. One guy got cut from UGA. One guy looked like he was fresh out of prison. Like the guys were major big. And I was like, man, I'm the smallest guy here. Probably the least experienced. I just got out of high school and been sitting out waiting for an opportunity, like climbing on monkey bars, trying to do pull-ups, push-ups. I had my own little Herschel Walker routine going on. But from there, like I was like, you know what, man, the God in me is bigger than every obstacle I ever faced. So I took that leap of faith, went out there, and out of all those D linemen, everybody out there, only 14 of us made the team. I was the only D lineman. So from there, throughout the homelessness and everything going on, I pursued being a walk-on. I earned some playing time freshman year as a walk-on, which was rare, especially at Georgia State. Sophomore year, got a little more play time on defense and special teams. My junior year, I had maxed out on loans, and I was like, man, I might not be able to finish school. I was able to get in, but now I might not be able to finish because I can't afford it. And one day, one of my coaches saw me, and he was like, he seen me going home after a day in training camp in August when it's hot and muggy outside. It's usually raining in August in Georgia. And he saw me going home, and he was just like, Nate, where you going? And I was like, Coach, I'm heading home. He's like, where's home? And he took me, and he saw we was living in a beat-up old moldy hotel, you know, one of the worst places you want to see somebody go back to. Me and my two younger brothers and my mom and my father. He was like, man, you live here for real? I was like, yeah, we be struggling to pay rent, et cetera, in and out of sleeping in our car, et cetera. And he was just like, man, he said, why ain't you tell nobody? I was like, Coach, if I didn't earn it, I don't want it. He was like, man, you earned everything you got here. So literally like the next day, the head coach calls me in the office as soon as I walk through the door. Hey, Nate. He brings me in, and he started talking to me. He's like, Nate, why didn't you say anything? I was like, about what, Coach? He's like, about your living arrangements, like what you have going on at home. I said, Coach, I said, I just wanted to earn it. If I didn't earn it, I really don't want it. He said, what makes you think you didn't earn it? I said, well, Coach, I ain't got it yet, so I must have not earned it yet. So he was like, man, he said, you've earned everything. A lot of people in this locker room, if not everybody, look up to you. So from there, he was just like, man, keep doing what you're doing. Great things are coming your way. So I'm just like, appreciate the pep talk, but I've been gave that same pep talk my whole life. Appreciate it. So we go on the field, and he usually around camp, the last few days of camp, the coaches usually call up, at least at Georgia State, they call you up, and they announce they're giving somebody a scholarship. So he called us up, and in my mind, my mind was just trained to think the worst at the time. I was like, it ain't going to be me. He calling us up. I'm like, okay, what's this about? He says, well, you know, we get so-and-so scholarships. I'm putting 3 guys on scholarship. In my head, I'm like, it ain't going to be me. The first person he called, the video is actually still on YouTube. He called my name. I dropped the tears, crying, man. My mom and dad were calling me over and over that day because I called them right after, sniffling and everything. Hey, Mom and Dad, I made it. I got a full scholarship. They were in such disbelief. They kept calling me. My mom, I remember my dad called me. So what you're saying is you ain't got to pay for school no more. Yeah, Dad. I hung it up. About 10 minutes later, hey, Nate, so what you're saying is you live on campus? I said, yeah, Dad. Hang up again. So you got a meal plan? Yes, sir. And it was just emotions. My mom calling me crying. I'm crying, trying to like clear my eyes up. It was just an amazing feel. I'll never forget that day. And from there, man, I became a team captain. I got nominated for an NCAA award, the Wilma Rudolph Award. I was a runner-up for that. Basically, athletes who going through hardship, but they still persevere and succeed. That was me. I was a runner-up for that, and I was the first to graduate in my family. Then while preparing for pro day after that, I had the opportunity to go work out with the Falcons and Seahawks. Didn't work out how I planned, but God has bigger plans. So for me, I came back, started doing some graduate assistant work, coaching D-line and outside linebackers as well as strength and conditioning. But I still had that hunger to play. And that's along the time after I had an opportunity. I went to China, played in the league called AFU, started by Ricky Williams and Byron Chamberlain. I did really well there, won the gold medal. After that, me and Coach Potts, I met Coach Potts. I think it was – I don't remember when. I know it was a while back. It's been some years. Coach Potts been my guy for a minute. But he was like, yo, man, you got a lot of potential, man. I really want to help you, continue pursuing your dream. I was like, Coach, that's all I can ask for. I've been wanting to play. I just need the right guidance. So from there, got an opportunity to go play in the American Arena League with the Georgia Doom, which was a phenomenal opportunity to get my foot back on the field. Then from there, played in the IFL, man, and I've done some workouts in the CFL as well, but those were just workouts. But the arena football really got me back on the map, in my opinion. It's definitely showed people that I can definitely play at a high level, and I give all the credit to God and putting people in my life like Coach Potts.
You know, your story is just one that never ceases to amaze me. And there was newspaper articles that were written. Obviously, you can find them out there on Google and things that continue to elaborate on your story. You talked to me about it at one point, and I read some of the articles. The only meal you ate sometimes was what the trainers put out, right?
Yes, sir. And sometimes it'll be some stale bread with a little slab of peanut butter on it.
And you talked about taking naps in the athletic center
Yes, sir.
at times, and the fact that taking trains, different things back and forth to get home and to get to school and stuff. Was there ever a point where you felt like the adversity was so much you just wouldn't be able to survive this, or that you weren't sure you whether or not you would accomplish your goals? Was there ever a point that kind of ran through your mind?
Yeah, it ran through my mind before, but when I came back to my senses, basically, and I was like, man, I made it through 100% of my worst days. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still here, so therefore I know this. I have purpose, basically. So for me, yeah, it ran through my mind, just like anybody. We all human, those thoughts creep up on you. But for me, I would wake up, I would see my parents, which is one of my biggest motivations, my family, and I would be like, I got to keep going. I got two younger brothers who look up to me like no other, and if they see me quit, it's gonna be okay for them to quit.
Yeah.
And anybody else who looks up to me. So for me, it wasn't just about me. And I feel like when you take yourself out the equation and see everybody who's leaning on you, you start to see, I can't give up. And that for me, that was the biggest thing. I knew I couldn't give up and I didn't want to give up. I'm a fighter.
Yeah, you're an inspiration to more than just your two brothers. There's a lot of people that look up to you, and I know I'm one of those people. I'm right there with the rest of them.
Sure.
See a lot of your posts, a lot of the Bible verses you talk about, and different things that you quote, and um, just watching you fight through the adversity that you fought through, the different situations that you've encountered, and you continue to smile, you continue to just work hard and enjoy life. I mean, it's an absolute inspiration to anybody that gets to know you, or gets a chance to be around you. When you got to Georgia State, did you know much about Coach Curry? Did you know who he was, what his background in football was, or
I knew he was a Hall of Famer. I seen a clip of him before as far as when he played center. But I was like, it's just a little small dude who was undersized and played center. So I knew who he was. I knew that he was a Hall of Famer coach and player. I kind of knew some of the schools he played at, but as that year and a half I got to be under him and really like learn from him, I learned so much. He was a man of so many amazing stories and wisdom that he gave us. And I can honestly say me and him still talk to this day. I send him messages every once in a while just checking in. And he was like, Nate, you were always one of my favorites. And it's crazy for him to say that. And we only had a year and a half as far as him being the coach and not being the player. So definitely a blessing.
have you ever seen the NFL films piece about Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts, and the fact that he was Johnny's teammate? I mean,
Yeah,
you're
that
talking
that
about
was crazy.
some pretty amazing people.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
You
he
know,
I tell him all the time, I was like, man, it's an honor to even be coached by somebody of your stature. Like it's crazy.
he's one of the most respected in college football as well. His time at Kentucky, in
Yep.
Georgia State, obviously. But I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
he played at the highest level, and he was a good football player, and he played around some
Yep.
pretty amazing football players such as Johnny U and others that of that era and that time frame. Um, I just wondered when you first got to Georgia State if you really knew who he was, and what your thought process was, like, you know,
Oh yeah, I'm
this
not
guy's
going.
on this guy's on a whole different level. This isn't just a new run of the mill kind of coach that just bounces around. Like, this
Yeah,
is a guy that's done some things.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For me, it made me want to go even harder. It's something about when I wouldn't say having to impress somebody, but the fact that he's reached the level that my goal was to reach, I was
Mhm.
like, you know what, I gotta put on the show. I'm already a walk on. Like I gotta prove to him that I'm worth the conversation he had with me and my father. I'm worth every bit of time he pours into me. So for me, that was the biggest thing. Like I said, I knew a small gist, I would say, of him. Got to learn a lot more as time has progressed, but for me, the biggest thing was I got to impress him because he's seen some amazing athletes, played with some amazing athletes. I just want to be one of those guys who remember, hey, I had a walk on at one time, tough as nails, Nate Paxton. That's what I wanted to be remembered as from him, and I actually did that. So that's something pretty cool to say.
It is, and you know, I I personally, grew up watching the SEC, and my grandfather was recruited by the SEC schools back in the 1950s when Coach Curry was kind of coming up through the ranks and things. And so I knew who he was. I'd seen him coach, at Kentucky against my Vols, and um, he's a very respected man in the coaching world, and in the playing world as well. To have a chance to play for somebody like that, that's a huge, honor to have, and for you to be remembered by him, and you can text him and call him, and he knows who you are, and you're one of his favorites. That's a huge testament to your work ethic.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Talk to me about your relationship with your brothers, and you setting the example for them, mentoring them, and what is that relationship like between the three of you?
Man, it's amazing. We throughout the years of us growing up, the way we grew up, just struggling a lot of times, like they always look to me because I always my dad always say, Nate, you the first, you're gonna go through a lot more than your brothers will. And I did. Like being a walk on, like even though my brother was a walk on, he went through some things, but nowhere near half the stuff I went through because I paved the way and made it a lot better for him. So with my brothers, they literally look up to me and they ask me all types of questions about the game. Like, Nate, what should I do? How do you feel I should approach this situation, this play, et cetera, because they know like I've done it already. And for me, I think that's the coolest thing ever that they look up to me because a lot of times, the younger brothers come and they outdo the older brothers. And that's what I want to happen. For sure. I want my younger brothers to be better than me. But at the same time, I've accomplished more than them right now throughout my career, where it's like they look up to me and like, man, bro, out of all the odds stacked against you, you still did it. So I think it's gained their respect even more because I remember me and my brother Jamal, he played with me at Georgia State my senior year. And I remember we did one interview with the AJC, and they were asking him like, "How does it feel to play with your older brother?" And he was like, "Man, it's like a movie." He said, "Watching this dude work is like unreal." Like he was like, he refused to be denied, and that's just how I really feel about life. Like I won't be denied about anything that I want, and I get to kind of pour that into them because I seen my dad do that in just life in general. Like no matter what stick we were handed, some people say the short stick is just whatever stick you're handed, you can still win the game. My dad always did that. So for me, I try to not try, I actually show them you can go do that. Like I was a walk on, went to an awful high school as far as sport wise. And I'm the first one in 40 years. They're talking about retiring my jersey at my high school. So it's like God has definitely been present throughout my football journey, man, and just continue to prosper me. I just got to keep doing the work because faith without work is dead.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of circle back on something, but before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and touch on this because just no way around the question. Um, Talk to me about your relationship with your mom and dad and what they mean to you. I see when you mention your dad, you light up. There's a big
Yeah.
smile that comes out, and your facial expression lights up. Talk to me about that.
Man, My parents, man, rest in peace to my father, man. He passed away almost 2 years ago now. It's crazy saying that due to cancer, but they're my heroes. Like, some people look up to the Hulk, Superman. I had them right here in my house with me. Wonder Woman and Superman, I had them right there the whole time. So for me, seeing my parents smile and my dad showed up, my mom and dad showed up to any and all things. Like my brother, before he came to Georgia State, was playing at an NAIA in Kentucky. My dad would drive to the games. Like we could be late on our car payment. He was like, I ain't worried about the car. I'm going to my son game. I'm like, what? Like we ain't gonna have a car when we get back. It's all right. I gotta go see my other son play. He driving the Kennesaw. He's coming. Like I've seen him do so much and be such an alpha male. It's just unreal the type of man he was. He was a manly man and he did everything the right way. He never took a shortcut, and that's why I never take shortcuts. And then my mom, like, to hold down the house with not only my dad, but you got three knuckleheaded football players, your sons, and you're feeding us every single day. Like I commend her so much. I commend both of my parents because raising us in the environment we was raised in, where a lot of people are either in jail or dead, who I grew up with, they kept our heads on straight. We were all straight A students. We were all like in college. Like I got a bachelor's and a master's, but it's only because of what my parents instilled in me. Like when you start something, finish it. So that's why with like our football journey, it's like I started it a long time ago, and my goal is to finish it. And for me, my finish might look different than other people's finish, but I know where my finish is. So therefore, that's why when I talk about my parents, man, they've instilled so many morals and values in us. I can't even count on my hand because they just been my superheroes my entire life, and my brothers feel the exact same way about them.
What? Tell me about a piece of advice your dad gave you that sticks out through the years, or
I,
something that he told you, a life lesson, or just something that sticks out to you.
uh, it'll be two things: how you treat people. You treat the janitor the same way you would treat the CEO. So yeah, it's something that I've carried my entire life with me. You treat the janitor how you treat the CEO, and also how you do anything is how you do everything. So for me, I'm always anything that I do, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going 100 miles an hour, probably more than that. But those two things, how to treat people, that's super important. Relationships are always important. But even outside of that, whatever my name is stamped to, I'm going all in. I'm not taking a shortcut. I'm going to work, work, work until the job is done. So those are two lessons I can definitely say he gave me.
I tell you, every time I talk to you and I listen to you, you sound like a guy that's 60, 70 years old, that like a wiser old guy, an old man. Um, it's just amazing to listen to you talk, and the lessons that you've learned, and the things that you've absorbed and that you're able to share with others. Um, it's just it's no other way to say it. You're an inspiration, and a role model to anybody and everybody that comes in contact with you. I want to circle back real quick. We talked about Coach Curry. Obviously, you had a great college career. You put those pieces together. You made that work. Um, then you go overseas to China. You earn a gold medal. Playing football over there. You and I connected through Euro players,
Yep.
and hit it off and developed a bond. And so then you get your first chance professionally, with the American Arena League. And we talked about, this is not the end all be all. This is just a stepping stone. Just, you go there, you build your resume, you get the film, you get the stats, the things that you need, and then we move on from that. Talk to me about playing for Coach Law, because I know what I've been told, and I know what I see, and talking with him myself and interacting with him. He seems like a player's coach. Seems like you guys really, there wasn't anything that you guys wouldn't do for him, and then vice versa. Knowing the situation at the time with the Doom when it came to pay and housing and things like that, anytime he actually got a paycheck, I know that he took that money and paid you guys instead
Yep.
of keeping it for himself. talk to me a little bit about your relationship with Coach Law and what that was like playing for him.
Man, it was amazing. For me, just that being like my first true pro contract, like, and the way he interacted with us, like you knew it wasn't about money because first off, we're not in the NFL at that moment, so
Right.
therefore the money wasn't hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, or anything close like that. So for us, you could tell he was coaching us because he had a passion for ball and a passion for us. And us, we was out there playing when the pay situation was crazy. But I'm driving 2 hours there and back every day, and he's seen that, and he will always be like, "Hey, man, just keep going." It's just the same thing you told me. It's just a stepping stone. He would keep telling me that. He was like, "Man, don't give up." Because at the time, we just found out my dad got diagnosed with cancer. We're struggling, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm trusting the process. I don't quit anything." So I'm like, "Let me just keep trusting it." So playing for him and somebody who was so motivational, and truly, he was a player's coach. He cared about us. Like he would get a little stipend or whatever you want to call it. He would give me gas money, give a couple other guys gas money to get home. Here, go get something to eat. Here's $20, $30. To some people, it might not be much, but I grew up with not much anyway. So everything I cherish. So therefore, I was grateful for him, man. Grateful for all the knowledge he gave us. He definitely taught us a lot of good life lessons. And then on top of that, just teaching us ball. It's good to learn, ball through somebody else's eyes who has more experience than you as far as seeing the game longer than you. So it was definitely a great experience.
Yeah, he and I continue to interact, and he's expressed interest in chasing his coaching dreams at at whatever level, whatever the cost, and um, I've already spoken to some teams overseas about head coaching vacancies for him, and there's a good chance that I'm gonna have him an interview here pretty soon for an opportunity. And so I think a lot of Coach Law, he's a good guy, and I kind of got that vibe from you, and and from others that had played for him, that he was that kind of guy, that players coach, that you know a guy that players trusted and would do whatever necessary for. Um, so you obviously you have a real productive season there. Yes, it didn't go quite the way you hoped as far as pay and housing and ownership and stability. Um, but then turn around and the next thing is we get you to the IFL. From that's your stepping stone. Now you're in the IFL, which now is obviously the top dog of all the indoor and arena leagues because the old AFL is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
When you got that opportunity, what was that like for you from a I guess a mental standpoint, knowing that okay, I did this and they told me that was a stepping stone. And now look, I've done moved up several levels. You know, what was that like for you?
I was excited. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was, you couldn't have told me I didn't sign for the NFL. You couldn't tell me otherwise because that's how I felt, man. Because this journey is amazing. Like I said, I'm a kid with humble beginnings. Like I've never been given anything. Everything's been earned. So the fact that I listen to everything, like I'm coachable. I listen to what y'all told me. I said this is a stepping stone. I said, okay, let me put my best foot forward like I always do. Went out there, balled as long as I could for the longest the season went for us. Then from there, coach, I get an opportunity with the Bucks in the IFL, and I'm like, whoa, it's a huge stepping stone because 95% of the guys in that league are ex NFL, ex CFL, really high
Yeah,
caliber guys. And I know I'm a high caliber guy as well, but it's just like, okay, I'm really like my career is elevating the way I pictured it. So
yeah.
for me, it was a dream come true, man. And man, the doors just keep getting open. And like I said, I gotta get credit to God, get credit to you, man, and just keep performing, man.
So what what's the next goal for Nate Paxton as far as football is concerned? Obviously the USFL is somewhat seeming like it's going to hang around for a while. The XFL is starting to gain momentum, and things are rolling for that. Obviously, you still got the CFL and the NFL, and now the European League of Football is gaining some steam and momentum. So now there's like five, six different avenues that are legitimate avenues. I mean, the ELF has gotten a few guys signed with NFL teams, here recently. Um, what's your thought process on what's the next place for Nate?
For me personally, I'm looking at the XFL, and the reason being, I grew up loving The Rock. The Rock was like, I'm a big wrestling guy, still kind of am, but I grew up loving The Rock, man, and I love, like, I've been watching this movie. He's just an all around great dude. He's the type of guy you don't let everybody kiss your baby, but you'll let The Rock kiss your baby.
Yeah.
So he's somebody I look up to, man, and I feel like that'll be an amazing opportunity for me to really showcase my talents, because the USFL was very high quality football. I definitely could look into the opportunity as well, but I feel like the XFL is the next step for me that can land me an opportunity to get back in the NFL, CFL, whatever the case may be. But XFL, I feel like that's my new home.
Okay. You know, I feel like extremely confident that we can, open that door and that you can walk right through that door. Especially once they hear your story and they get to know you. I don't foresee that being a problem at all, truthfully. I think any league would be lucky to have somebody like you representing that league, whether it's the XFL, USFL, or whatever. Um, if Doug Whaley, the senior VP of player personnel, who we have direct working relationship with, if he was to see this interview, what would you want to say to him as far as your sales pitch, I guess you would say, or your personal attempt, I guess, to throw whatever on the table as kind of a personal application to get his attention? What would you want him to know?
First and foremost, I would cherish and be grateful for the opportunity. But man, I'm a student of the game. Like I watch more film than I like, even to this day. Like even right now when I'm currently not on the team, I'm watching film daily. So I'm a big student of the game. I work out 3 to 4 times a day. As far as I'm stretching, I'm running every day, conditioning, field work, weights. I'm strong as an ox. Um, and for me personally, man, you won't find a guy who is playing with better technique, who's going to make a lot of plays for you, and a guy who's going to be a leader. I'm not a guy who stands in the back and watch things happen. I'm going to lead people, and I'm going to lead them to victory, lead them in the right direction. So for me, I'm a leader. I'm looking forward to leading on whatever team I get the opportunity to play for in the XFL, and I'm looking forward to just bringing that hunger that I feel like some people just don't have because they haven't come from where I come from. And the hunger that I have, it won't be quenched. Like it just can't be, because I have massive goals that they're God-sized goals. Only God could probably quench them. So therefore, I'm coming with a different type of hunger. I'm a student to the game at all times. And all I can tell you is I'll meet you in the backfield near you.
I'm gonna make sure he sees this interview, just so you know. I
Yes,
will
sir.
make sure that he sees this interview in the next probably 2 days, 3 days tops. He'll
Yes,
see
sir.
this, and I'll reach out and call him and tell him specifically that I'd like him to watch it and look at your information. Um, what would it mean to you to get that opportunity?
For me, man, to be completely honest, man, it would be a dream come true. First off, getting into the draft and actually getting drafted would be, I mean, I didn't get that opportunity NFL wise. Yeah, I got a, little rookie mini camp or whatever, but that was that. Me personally, I know I'm more than good enough to play at a high level. Just need the opportunity. And for me, it would be a blessing to play in the XFL and to really showcase the talent that God blessed me with, and to really go help a team win the championship, because I'm not just coming there to play. I'm coming there to go win championships, win a ring. I've never won a professional ring, won some at college, but I want a professional ring. I think that's the icing on the cake for me. And then from there, let God take the wheel from there.
what what would it mean? Not not really. If, obviously you explained what it would mean to you, but what would it mean to your dad if he's looking down on you? What would it mean to him to see his oldest son achieve that?
I can honestly say, man, my dad's probably up there. I don't know if they can cry in heaven anymore, but it'll be tears of joy up there, man, because he watched everything I've endured throughout this journey, man, and it's been a journey. When I say things some people probably couldn't endure in their lifetime, I've endured. And to see that I'm still pursuing, like these last 2 years, like have been just crazy, man. After my father passed, like car accidents, et cetera, man, like I've been handling things and still pursuing my dreams. And
Right.
I had an amazing season last year in the IFL, man. And I'm just looking forward to this opportunity. So I know my dad is smiling because I'm doing everything he taught me to, not quit. I'm putting my best foot forward, and I'm doing everything the right way.
Let's talk about something else. You know, played last season with the Bucks. Obviously, you had a little bit of a knee injury. Talk
Mm-hmm.
about what it's been like dealing with kind of a major injury, and what does your rehab program look like, and where are you at in the recovery process?
Yeah, so I got hurt last year in June, right before my birthday. Had surgery later last year on my MCL and meniscus. They told me it would have took like 6 to 8 months in that range. I healed in 3.5, and my recovery process has been amazing. Like I've gained, if not more strength, more explosiveness. Like I post a lot of workout videos on my social media, so you can definitely go see. Like I said, strong as an ox, explosive. I've been cutting, doing drills, been in the corner. I'm 150%. If not, I'm better than what I was before I got hurt. But the recovery process was grueling at first because that was my first true injury. So for me, it was like, wow, like this is how it feels to be on crutches. This is how I feel to not be playing ball. This sucks. So therefore, like it made me cherish because I was on crutches for 6 weeks. I couldn't put any pressure on my right leg. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like this sucks. I have to crawl downstairs. Like it was just crazy. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going like, and the crazy part, I was doing like strengthening stuff before I even had my actual surgery. So I was actually going, they even told me I went into surgery better than most people come into surgery. Most people just don't do anything and have the surgery. Me, I was working out as if I wasn't hurt. So therefore, it was like I expedited my recovery process, and now I'm just ready to get on the get on the field, man, and go hit somebody.
Did you get in the recovery process and the rehabilitation process? Did you go back to Georgia State and lean back on them, or did you kind of do this on your own? Or
I went. So they actually, so the Bucks have set me up with rehab down here. They let me do it in Georgia because I take care of my mom. But they gave. I was able to do some here. I did a lot of stuff on my own, like little stuff I knew because I was a strength coach before, so I know how to rehab a good amount. And then from there, I was going to Georgia State here and there, doing some extra stuff. So yeah, man, it was a mixture of stuff. I was just doing any and everything I could, balance stability, strengthening everything I could to make sure I'm more than ready to get back on the field. So yeah, I'm excited, man.
let's take a different avenue here for a minute. We're going to take a left turn on this road. So you're getting ready to get married.
Yes, sir.
You and I have talked about that offline. What's that been like for you? Finding yourself in a situation now where the next step on the life side of the journey is about to happen. Knowing that now you're going to have somebody else that depends on you, that looks up to you, that is there for you to lean on, but is looking to lean on you as well. What's that been like? You know, finding love and pretty soon you're gonna have that ring on your hand. But
Yeah,
I
man.
won't say. Well,
August 20th.
you're gonna have that ball and chain. I mean, the ring on your hand. What's that thought process been like?
Man, it's been, I can say like this. I'm excited for it for sure because it's a blessing. You know, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and I found my good thing. But for me, the fact that she's so supportive, like I've been telling her, like Coach been bringing me some opportunities, and when I talk to her, she's like, "Yeah, like chase it." chase it. She said that give me a reason to travel. That'll give me a reason to do this. And I'm like, wow. Like, and I'm telling her, like, babe, I'm going to play in the XFL. Like, wherever they station me, I'm going. Like, it could be in Alaska, I'm going. And she said, okay. She said, I'm right there with you. She said, I'll bring my little jacket, my Eskimo jacket. I said, I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called, but yeah, but she's super supportive, man. She's overly loving. She's a great person. And she's been with me throughout this whole, pursuing this professional journey. She's been there. Like when I went to China, she was there. When I was playing for the Doom, she was there. She actually would come down to games out there in Macon. Like I said, it's a 2-hour drive from where I live. She would come and she didn't have a car. So she's riding with friends, asking people to bring her, or she'll ride my dad when he was coming. So she's been there the entire way, man. She's super supportive. She cares that my dreams happen for me, not for her, but for me. And I feel like that's the same way I feel towards her. Like whatever she wants to pursue, I got her back. So the fact that she's super supportive, it makes this process a lot easier. So I'm excited for the new journey with her, but I'm even more excited that she's supporting the journey.
Yeah, that's I did an interview earlier with a new client, and he's down in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, in the Fam League, and his girlfriend actually went down with him. She works remotely, and she joined us on the live stream for a little bit and talked about that experience. And I talked to them about it. When you're chasing dreams like that, it's hard to accomplish those dreams without somebody that is supportive of that. A lot of times, from a significant other, fiance, wife standpoint, people a lot of times don't make the right choices when it comes to relationships and marriages, and that support system is not there, and it's hard to accomplish your dreams and goals. So for you to find that perfect match, somebody that supports you and is behind you on this, and will allow you to chase and do what's necessary to back you on that. That's huge.
Yes, sir.
Um, now your brother was it Jamal, I believe,
Yep.
um, had a baby. What was it last year?
Nah, he's 3. He turned 3 this year. It's been 3 years.
Three,
Crazy.
3 years ago. So now now your uncle Nate, not just
Yep.
soon to be husband. What's that been
Yep.
like being an uncle and knowing that you got somebody else that's going to look up to you?
Man, it's been amazing because watching him grow, like actually seeing him from a baby you could hold in your hands to now he's his own little person who walks and he copies everything you say. So you got to be conscious about what you say around him. He's like a little parrot, but man, it's amazing, bro. It's like seeing that my little brother has a mini me and he acts just like my brother. So it's pretty cool. And every time he see me, he lights up and call me uncle, even though it don't sound like uncle. It's something else, uncle or whatever. But
Yep.
it's amazing, man. It's super amazing. It gives me inspiration for the day when God blessed me to have kids. I'll have a mini me who will
Yep.
look up to me the same way he looks up to me. So it's exciting, man. I love it. I'm trying to get him to put a football in his arms. Right now he's doing baseball, which is cool. He's playing a little t-ball here and there, hitting it off the tee. So whatever he
Okay.
whatever he pursues, that's up to him. But I'm still gonna try to sneak a football in there and throw it to him.
So is Uncle Nate coaching them on baseball or no?
Look, I mean, I let Jamal have it a little more than me. I'm in the background when he needs me. I'm there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I was told when I had kids that when you have kids, you basically you pay for your raising. So if you
Mhm.
gave mom and dad a hard time when you have your own children, that you're gonna pay twice as much
Yep.
for what you did. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
so let Jamal know that whatever it is he did towards mom and dad growing up,
He's
just
gonna
know
get
he's
double
gonna pay that
trouble.
twice.
Double trouble.
Yes, yes, it is. So you've had a lot of different things happen life wise for you, and something else I want to talk about. You know, that I've been watching, not from afar, but watching. You've gotten involved in buying, selling, trading stocks, and you've become quite the stock um, expert, guru, whatever you want to say. And I've seen some of your posts and some of the pictures you posted with numbers and different things. Where did that come from? Like, how did that happen? Why did it happen? What is it that excites you about that?
So for me, I'll put it like this. I know after football, because eventually we all have to hang the cleats up at some point. And I
Yeah,
know for me, I've had traditional jobs, and I just watched my father, pass away, and he never got on the plane. We didn't take like probably one or two family vacation, if I can remember. And I'm being generous. We might not have taken any.
yeah,
My mind might be clouded, but what I can say is I watched him do all that to just eventually pass away. And for me, I was like, you know what? I really want to own my life. And I know the best way to own your life is to own how you make your own money. Like, I didn't want anybody to tell me what to do outside of football.
yeah,
So for me, I said, you know what? I see a lot of people winning with this trading. So let me try to figure it out. Tried figuring it out on my own. Didn't work out too well. Then I got under the right mentorship and guidance. And it's been super profitable for me, and I've been able to help a lot of people be profitable. But it's really simple. It's just most people overcomplicate it. And like I was telling you before, coach, it's just if you really pursue the education mastery of any skill set, whether it's football, trading, it doesn't matter. It takes 10,000 hours. You got to put in the time. Whatever I do, like my father always said, how you do anything is how you do everything. So for me, when I got started with it, and they was like, it could take some time before you see results. I said, that's cool. It took time with football before I seen real results. Next. So for me, like when I came in with that mentality, like I'm just ready to work, I actually start seeing results faster because the average person a month in, 2 months in, they quit. I'm going on 2+ years being a part of this, and I don't see myself stopping because I've had a lot of success and I've helped a lot of people. And the biggest goal for me is helping people learn that there's other ways to make money, or extra stream of income, without actually punching the clock.
yeah. No, I don't want you to give specifics, but where are you at earnings wise with this in the 2 years that you've jumped into this and said, okay, I'm going to learn this, and now you're teaching other people? Where are you at? Just give us a ballpark number. You don't have to give me specifics or anything like that, but
Full time. Way above full time.
okay, okay, all right, I got you.
Yes, sir.
So that means pretty successful. In other words,
Very successful. Yes, sir.
look, I told you, I'm waiting,
Oh,
and I expect
I
to hear
got you.
from you soon. I want classes.
Oh yeah, I got you. Hands down. I promise you, I got you.
I want some classes. I'll take notes. You can do Zoom calls with me, whatever you want to do, but I need you to teach me since you're teaching other people.
I got you. That's the least I can do, Coach. You've been a blessing in my life since day one. This is the least I can do.
Well, I try. I love what I do, and I love getting to interact with guys like you, and maybe share a little insight or piece of guidance that maybe keeps you from making a mistake or a bad decision or a choice that I've made along the way. And um, just seeing you guys succeed, seeing you smile, seeing you be happy, um, that means the most to me. And for someone like you to see you continue this journey and to be successful, um, and to make your dad proud of you, that's reward enough for me, with this. And that's the reason I do it. And you know, I hope that your mom and your brothers will be able to see you play at a higher level here soon,
Yes, sir.
uh, and you'll be able to share that with your dad. You know,
Yeah.
so I really appreciate the time. We've taken up about a little over 45 minutes, almost 50 minutes of your time. I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
you got things you need to do, but I want to thank you as always for taking this time out and let me interview you. Um, with you, it's never I have to practice or think about what questions I'm going to ask. It just kind of flows, and so it's the easiest interview I've done, and I appreciate that. I really
Yes, sir.
do. Let's wrap it up this way. For any of the other clients, new clients, people considering becoming a client, or just trying to figure out their journey in general with football, what would you say to them right now? What advice would you give them?
First off, trust the process because this will be a process. Second of all, learn how to actually be a professional. That's one big thing I could tell you because if you come in here, no matter what level you're in and you don't know how to be a professional, you won't last long. And third of all, understand the game. And when I say understand the game, understand that there's people in positions for a reason. Like Coach Potts is there to help us. So therefore, trust them. And on top of that, when you go to these different places, the coach is the coach. You're the player. Don't think you're bigger than your britches. Don't think you're this god or whatever you think you are. Like stay humble, man. Trust the process and understand what being a true professional is. Because a professional is somebody who gets paid, whether it's $1 or $1,000,000. You get paid for doing what you love. And for me, I pride myself on being a professional athlete. So I think you should as well. And like I said, trust the process, hidden gems, no better place.
It seems like I've heard that phrase somewhere before. It seems like someone told you that.
No, I don't know. That was fresh off the dome.
It seems like I told you that some time ago. Seems like we had that conversation.
Oh man. Hey, well, I don't know. All I know is that came fresh off my mind. I just
Hey,
wanted to say it.
Nate, you're like I said, you're an inspiration to a lot of people, and you're a prime example of what determination will do for you. Um, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's always an honor to talk to you. Um, I always enjoy seeing you smile. That big smile lights up, and
Yes, sir.
just seeing you enjoy life, man. It's that's a huge deal, and congratulations to yourself and to the missus. Um, I'm sure both of you will be amazing for each other. Wish you nothing but many, many happy years of marriage together, and I hope that we can continue to be a part of your journey and continue to watch you grow
Yes, sir.
as the years go by. So, thank you again for all your time. I really
So,
do appreciate it.
thank you,
And
Coach.
I'm going to make sure Doug Whaley sees this. I'm going to make sure Coach Law sees this too because I think he would enjoy it. Um, but I'm going to make sure Doug sees this with the XFL this week. So just know that you'll probably be getting some phone calls and emails here pretty soon.
Hey, I look forward to it, Coach. Thank you for everything, my man.
You're welcome, big guy. Have a good night, and thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir. Have a blessing, Coach.
All right. And that